And we are recording.
Oh, and I'm taking it. All right,
yes,
live this Sunday morning. You don't even have to hear the word go for me. I got the whole side of Gusto plus a side cuss of Gusto here. We are live on Let's Talk Java. I am Chad. We got Laarni in Chicago and Colorado Springs. We got Titus Kleppinger. I said it right, right?
Yes, absolutely. Titus Kleppinger. Great job, man. Great job. Woo!
The Gusto's strong this morning. So no, guys, we are here on Let's Talk Java. We are going to be rock and rolling. Usually Laarni takes the lead on this one. But I don't know. I'm energized this morning, so we're having some fun.
So I guess, Titus, our first question, usually when we have guests in, is what is in your cup this morning?
What is in my cup? I do those little Mio squirts. I don't know if you've ever seen those Mio squirts. They've got different flavors, and I usually grab the ones that are energy. So it's the vitamins and energy in the squirt. And so, yeah, I quit drinking coffee quite some time ago, and I do enjoy a cup of tea, and I'll have a cappuccino once in a while. But yeah, those Mios are my go-to in the morning.
And we're not sponsored by Mio. Anybody, I was like, oh, we're not sponsored by Mio.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
I was gonna say, so is it when you do tea, is it more like tea and honey, or is it just straight tea?
I do. I put honey. I had a conversation with my kids yesterday about the sugar, and if I could trim out some sugar from my life, man, I could probably lose an extra 6 pounds. But I like my sugar. We went to this place, it's called Rizzuto's, and they stack on the ice cream. It's a soft serve, and it's like $2, and they give you like a pound of ice cream. And so I had some good time with the kids yesterday. We just had a bunch of fun.
He's bringing the old Midwest out again in them. Little like up here we have all those soft serve places in Wisconsin where it's like $1.50, and it just keeps going, and then you're playing the old game like this, trying to not make it tip over.
Yeah.
That's like the rainbow cone here. Like I think they just opened up last week where you can go and get a rainbow cone, which is like they like pack the sherbet and the ice cream and all the different flavors. I wouldn't enjoy that because I don't know if I like all those flavors mixing into one thing. I like, give me a good old hot fudge sundae with chocolate chip ice cream in it, so.
Yeah.
Now the one down the road from my parents that I just found out because I actually went down there yesterday, but it opened up. It's cash only. They have all the high school kids there, and they have 3 or 4 ice cream machines. And it's one of those like you drive up to the window type things, but they're so busy that they actually have to. Yeah, the line goes all the way around the building with cars. You'll go there on the weekend. There's like 20 cars waiting in line. And then you walk up and there's a line outside down the walkway. Because it's on the state highway where you get up and you turn around the corner and it's on the corner. So if you turn around fast and you come whipping around that corner, you almost have to hit your brakes because there's so many people at this place.
Popular.
It's called Frogs, but it's awesome.
We're not sponsored by Frogs either.
No.
So Titus, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you like to do. We're sipping our coffee, so tell us your story.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in Florida. I had mentioned to you earlier, I was born in Chicago, left when I was like 1 or something. Made it down to Florida, grew up in Florida a majority of my life. We left in 99, but down in Sarasota, grew up, lived on the beach a lot, and just loved to get out there and the outdoors. And then moved to Colorado in 99, Colorado Springs, and started, we had a small family in Florida, but 1 child. We had our second here in Colorado, and just settled down, put some roots in, and now we hang out in the mountains instead of the beach.
I love Colorado Springs. I really wish I could have stayed there, but I went to UCCS for my master's in sports medicine, and it was just not the perfect time for me to be there. So I'm like, oh, bummer. And moved back to Chicago and have not moved since.
Yeah, right. And that's how it happens sometimes. You move someplace and it's the last move that you make for a good while. And
Right.
so
Right. And I was only there for 2 years, but like I made like some really cool friends and learned how to snowboard when I was out there. It took me 4 hours to get down a mountain one time.
that's okay.
But I
That's
was
okay.
like, when I got to the bottom, I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
Yes, I'm safe. I'm safe.
I'm like, shoulders, my legs, okay, I can still think. All right, good. And then my friend's like, okay, we've been here for a long time. And you just made it here, way down one time. I'm like, I'm good.
I'm good. Yep. Yep. So I've snowboarded a couple times. One time I caught my back edge on my board, and I put my hands behind me for the impact, and basically gave myself whiplash. And I said, I'm good. And so there's a business that has sand volleyball courts out on the east side of town, and so I joined a volleyball league, and that's where I'm at. Sand volleyball in Colorado reminds me of home, and we just go out and have a great time.
Wow, shoot, that wasn't there when I was there. Like, at least, I mean, I was in Colorado in 2007, 8, 9, because that's what and there's like the street right by UCCS that wasn't really developed yet, and so I hear there's like a Costco there.
Yeah. Actually, and there's a Costco there, and all these nice restaurants. That actually right there by the school is really grown up. I'll have to next time I go up there, it's up the road a little bit. I'll do a little 360 for you and show you some of the new buildings.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So give you a little flashback and some memory.
So what else do you have going on this weekend? Like, what, do you have like any kind of like business things coming up, or like books coming out? We like to, on the show, we like to make sure that we're promoting like some of the things that you're doing, especially for the community. So what do you have going on?
Yeah, and so I just had my third book, which is the second book published, Waffle Life, and it goes along with my business development. So I spent 20 plus years in the sales, marketing, and business development side of things. 17 of those years were in the IT industry. And so, I help businesses find money that goes straight to their bottom line. I've got a program that I work with that runs a bunch of AI and algorithms, and we find little tweaks and things that we can do to help their processes. And so, I can find small businesses, if they're doing 200,000 or to $1 million, I can find them anywhere from.
Say that again. Small businesses, what?
From 250 to $1 million.
People?
No, in revenue. Income.
I was just like, wow, 250 is a small business. I'm like, whoa, I'm only one. Chad's only one. Like, we're the micro business.
Yes. And me too, right? As a business consultant, I am the micro business. I have a VA, but it's me and the VA, and we tackle the world together. And so, on the business consulting side, I help businesses basically make more money.
Oh, we all want that.
Yes.
We all want that.
And how he was talking, I'm like, I want the VA too.
I do too.
Oh, VAs are the best. Oh my! Well, if you find the right one, VAs are really. I trust her. She has all my passwords, and they're really awesome. But as far as when people start as solopreneurs, they have that thing that they like to do or that they can do, whether it be welding, art, IT, whatever it is.
Do we just lose them?
excuse me,
He's
whatever it is that they have their skill set. And so they go and start a business for what they can do or what they do. But a lot of times they lack the business side of things. Chad, you still there?
Yeah, I don't know who cut in and out here. So
Yeah,
guys,
I think Lena did, but I'll keep rolling. The so
Am I on still?
yeah,
you're on.
you're back.
Oh, okay. So I cut out. Weird. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. And so we start these businesses with what we like to do, or our skill set, and yet we don't have the business foundation or the business structure. And so I find a lot of my clients that like they have a purpose and a passion. Like I have this one guy, he does junk removal, and in the junk removal, that's what he does. But his business acclimate isn't really, it's infant, right? It's in its infancy, and he hasn't learned all the things as far as business. So I get to come in and help him on the business side of things.
That's really interesting.
Well, I was gonna say it definitely takes a different mindset, because what I'm noticing, I'm gonna go on this because this runs parallel what I did yesterday, the day before. You guys know what's going on with me in the next couple months here and where I'm going and all that stuff. And
No, remind us, Chad.
oh, for all you guys, I'm going to be 2 blocks away from the Venture Project in Oshkosh in a beautiful, I would say luxury. It's actually one of those good apartments down there. So in the Brio Center in Oshkosh, 2 blocks away from the Venture Project, guys. I will be heading there August 1st. We'll be there for 1 full year, plus hopefully more. And we're going to be rock and rolling here. But the thing I was teeing up is I do have a job up here. And I it's not a bad job. It's a mill job, whatever. It pays the bills. I keep looking for another job to keep paying the bills instead of, and how I kind of like the epiphany came, or whatever that word is, bro, you own a business. Why are you thinking about a job? And all of a sudden that light bulb came off, and someone's like, why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep doing that? I'm like, I think it's just because we've been drilled. I don't say drilled into our heads growing up. See, I have businesses in my family, but I didn't grow up around business every day. Like I have very good friends that grew up in business every day. And you look at where they're at with their business structure, their mindset, and how to operate and how to go make, 200, 300, 400 bucks an hour, whatever the ratio is. It's really, really different versus shooting for that 23 bucks an hour, 25 bucks an hour. And I noticed it this week, and the light bulb went off. I'm like, oh, wait a minute here. Why am I focused on that? Where if I want to, not say change go right instead of going left, but if my business is the main thing going down forward, why am I focused on trying to make all the much money as an employee?
Have you ever read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yes, I have. It's been a very long time, but yes.
So that what you just described is a perfect segue or scenario for what he talks about in the book, as the left side of the quadrants is employee, self-employed. When you look at the other side, if you look at the right side of the quadrants, it's business owner and investor. And so what you're doing is you're starting to vacillate between the left and the right side. And so it'll get to a point where you're always, or a majority of the time, on the right side as a business owner and investor, and you start to think like that all the time.
Yeah, and the thing I think the thing that I was trying to shoot for down, or not say shoot for, but what I'm shooting for is getting wiggle room in the budget. And here's the thing that everyone, some of the people that don't see the multi hats that people wear, it's some be like they quit their job, they go right in their business. Some, run their job for a little bit, then they shift over their business for many years. I'm looking at it as, okay, so I'm trying to shoot for as much as I can as an employee, and then take that extra stash, invest it back in my business. And, so the everyday employee mindset, they don't see that, where it's like, okay, how much gap do I have to throw back into growing what I'm doing right now? But obviously you have to make money at what you're doing right now too. So
The best asset that you could invest in your business, the biggest and best asset in your business is you. Discovering how to invest in yourself, right? There's times in the past where I'll be buying something for like a laptop or a computer, and I'm thinking, oh, I can do more work with this laptop, so I'm investing in my business. Yes, I am. When I started to discover investing in myself by going to different workshops, going through different courses, investing in myself as far as a person, a business person, how I think, my daily routines, my discipline, that's when I'm investing in myself. And that is the biggest asset. Because if you, I have people that I talk to and they're strong physically, but they lack the self-discipline, that inner character, that forging of the fire. They lack that. And so they can bench press 300 pounds, but yet they aren't disciplined enough to do the daily small consistent efforts that will take them to success.
That would be me. So we're going to work on that.
Okay. Work on that.
So Titus, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning 100% discipline, knowing your processes, and when it comes to like life and business, where does discipline fall into that range?
You can have a great time in luxury and still have the discipline. It's setting that intention, right? If my intention is to set this block of time aside for me, because self-care is huge.
Yeah.
Self-care and self-love is a huge thing. And so if I know that I'm coming up on a time where I need to pull back in and heal or rejuvenate or whatever it is I need, that's part of self-discipline. And not, as a business owner, we get so caught up into go, having that mental fortitude to say, no, right now is the time for me to take a break. Even though everything in my being is saying continue to work, that discipline is to where, hey, I'm going to turn things off because I know that's what I need.
That's like a perfect way of putting, because I feel like my self-care is my powerlifting. That's like my big self-care for myself is, and I'm so disciplined to go there on Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Like if anybody's like, hey, you know what? Can we have a meeting at like 3 o'clock? I'm like, sorry, I'll probably be benching or squatting or something at that time. So sorry, I can't. And like I feel like I fall within that, like my discipline when it comes to my business is 6 or 7, because I get scatterbrained. You know, like I want to do everything. And then when we were talking about VAs, and I'm like, oh, it'd be nice if somebody could do my workshop workbook for me instead of me doing it, you know?
So when I first hired my VA, she was asking like $14 an hour. And so I quickly realized that if you find value, so I gave her a raise. I bumped her. I'm like, listen, you charged me 14, I'm going to give you 20. And we worked on a bank of time. So I would prepay for a bank of time. Say I sent her a couple $100 or whatever, and she would have 10 hours or whatever. And so we would just work on that. And then what I would do is anytime something came across my plate that I would feel contracted with, like I would feel like, ooh, I don't want to do that. It's like data entry. I don't want to do data entry. Anything that I would feel that restriction with, I would just shoot her off an email and say, hey, can you take care of this? Hey, can you take care of this? Hey, can you get it? And it might be a 15-minute task that I could have easily done, but it cleared up my 15 minutes. It cleared up a half hour, because it takes 5 or 6 minutes to even sit down and start whatever that task is, because we're usually doing something else. So we have to sit down, get focused, do the task, and then come out of that task. That's 30 minutes out of, going into it, doing it, and coming out of the task. And so anytime I would feel something that was like, I just don't feel like doing that, it freed up that time slot to where I could be creative, to where I could be me and be Titus, and let her take care of that. I don't want to say mundane and minutia, but the things that just weren't in my strong suit or just didn't fit me at the moment.
Yeah. So focus on what your strength is and what her strength is, and there's a balance, and that's perfect. I feel like for me and Chad, us new business owners, we like have to find that kind of give and take. What can we give? What can we like take a little bit of back of our time? So, but we like for me, I don't know about Chad, but sometimes I feel guilty when I like ask somebody else to do it. I feel like really guilty.
So here's, I'm going to help you with some of your wording real quick here. So you were talking about giving and taking. I'm going to encourage you to change the word take to receive.
Yes, you're right.
Receiving, because
I'm doing a coffee break here, guys. So give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries.
Go ahead.
So it's receiving, when you're on the receiving, it changes how you perceive it, right? Because it's not you taking, I mean, you could take, but taking, like you said, sounds so selfish.
Yes.
And so if you receive, now it's a gift. Now let me receive this gift. You're doing a service for me, so let me receive this, your gift of service for me. Or whatever
I love
it is.
that. I love that. It takes away that selfish guilt that I have. It's like I know what I want. It's like I know what I'm trying to accomplish, and to put the receiving part, that really changes the perspective of honestly, like I'll say it kind of like this, but it changes the perspective of my heart. Where it's like, I should be open to receive. Why am I not receiving? So
yes, we
that's
should.
A great way of putting it.
Well, thank you. That's and from coming from the masculine side, right? That masculine energy, it's something that I'm still learning, because it's the feminine energy that receives.
Mm-hmm.
It's the feminine energy that's the receptive. More so, it has the stronger characteristic of. And so, yeah, I'm still learning to receive.
Yeah, I feel I'm learning to receive. I have to like tell myself that every morning. Like I walk my dogs in the morning, and I have my conversation with God in the morning. It's like my 15-minute walk with my dogs, and and I was like, good morning, God. How's it going? What do you have for me today? What direction are you pushing me today? Or, I don't have that strong of like a faith, but I have a belief and I have a faith, and I do express like what I'm asking to the universe, to God, like the people who listen above, who are the higher above me, kind of. So I like try to add, and one of those is receiving. I tell the universe, like, I'm open to receive. I'm open to receive the tasks or the journeys, or I'm open to, like, one of my affirmations sometimes in the morning, I'm open to receive money, God. I'm open to receive money, because I have like money wounds, like those money blocks. As growing up Asian in America, we like try to keep our money and don't let it go anywhere. And but really it's like, if I have to make money so I could use it for the good.
Yeah.
Use it for the community, use it for my initiative, like I need to be able to do that. So I like say that. I'm like, okay, Laarni, you are worthy to receive money. You are worthy to receive.
Yes. Yeah, the universe and God is here to support us, right? Yeah. You have a dream. Everybody, I shouldn't say everybody. I got the message. And so anyway, sidetrack, squirrel. But anyway, yes, it's good. The universe and God is here to support us in all that we do. And he has given us a dream and a life, for a dream for our lives and a vision. And a lot of times we, as people, continue to go down the path that we think intellectually is the right path, when really if we would follow that dream and follow our hearts and follow what is true to us, our purpose and passion, we will come to find out that God in the universe is there to support us and lift us up and to carry us through.
Can I share with you my story of how I got to Let's Talk Java, this show with Chad?
Absolutely. Please do.
So, the COVID times, I actually lost my job in March. And I had a job lined up in April that was, was ready to go. I was like, cool, I got a job, whatever. They called me like 2 days before I started and said, hey, we don't know what's going on with COVID. So we're going, your contract that you're working is not going to be there. I'm like, okay, shoot. And then I had a job lined up in June, and they called me the Friday before I started on the Monday. And they're like, hey, you know what, with the COVID thing, and at that time, I just took it as my push. Like I've been wanting to have my own business since like 2011, 2009, 2011. I've written it in my journals. Like when I start sometimes my year, I do like a financial, professional, and physical goals for the year. And for like that time, it was like number one was start my own business. Number one was start my own business. So I took it in 2020 as this, okay, God, I get it now. I see what you're saying. So that's why I started this Strong and Mighty company. But the way I met Chad was I threw myself out there and made a summit. It's called Standing in Strength, and it's a series of summits that I have envisioned in my head to roll forward. And I met Chad, but like after our summit, we were talking about exchanging coffees on Facebook. And somebody goes, you guys should start a coffee show. And I'm like, Chad, let's start a coffee show. And so now you are episode 15 for us. And who would have thought that we would have a show, just us sipping coffee? It's weird how the universe just kind of brings people together, how God brings people together. And I'm really like learning that a lot more now. Not just because I didn't have a faith back then, but it just wasn't clear, or it just wasn't as strong. But now it's like my mind is going, okay, so I see your hand, God. I'm gonna reach out for it.
Yeah. So for me, I talk about faith and trust.
Yeah.
Right. And so you have the faith, and you're talking about, oh, I had the faith, and now I'm starting to trust it more. And so, yes, you can have faith, and you can, and whatever it is that you're doing as far as like, the podcast or whatever, but it's the trust that comes behind it, saying, okay, I trust that it's going to work out. I trust that that my faith is of the mustard seed. In the book that I read, it talks about the faith of the mustard seed grows. And so I'm going to trust that when you put seed in the dirt, that it's going to grow into the plant after its kind. I had that, belief. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Just to give you a little heads up, 15 is the number that runs through a good bit of my story. And so
Really?
Yeah. And so it's interesting that I'm episode 15, because 15 pops up in my life.
Really?
Yes.
What is like the significance of 15?
It's interesting how it usually happens on the 15th of the month, right? It would be in the date where I would see like a major turn or a major catalyst happen on the 15th. I'm finishing up a divorce, and I moved out on the 15th. I started a job on the 15th of a month. back in the day. And so there's just little signs that, that are threaded through my life that start on the 15th. And so it doesn't really surprise me. It's just kind of cool to continue to see the thread go through life.
Well, I'm glad that you are here on episode 15 of Let's Talk Java, because it was meant to be. It was meant to be.
Yes.
Okay, here's another weird thing, and it involves 15. I just realized this. I sent a picture to my friend. It says 15 of 15. I don't know if it says up on top.
Yep, 15 of 15.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sitting, we're talking, I'm like, no way. And the funny thing is, so it's a nickname that a close friend of mine called me now. And so we're trying to figure out a nickname in the Bible, whoever remind, and we're going down this topic right now, but to remind me of who I fit best. And she's like, you're Sons of Thunder. I'm like, what are you talking about? All of a sudden I'm like, look up Sons of Thunder, and then you kind of relay how I am in life. And you relate to that, and it's just so funny because he's talking about 15. I look down, I'm like, no way. So yeah, no, 15 on this side too, guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, I feel like those are those little significances that happen, like.
It's the synchronicities.
Yes.
And
synchronicity to receive these.
Yes. Synchronicities is God's way of being anonymous, but letting you know that he's still there.
Somebody I wake up around like 2:30, 3 o'clock every day, like not just like a slow wake up. It's like okay, I'm awake. And then my mind starts racing. And somebody actually told me, it's actually Crystal Chad, told me that's a significant time frame for when God talks to you. And I didn't know that. So again, these like little nudges,
Mine must be at like 10:30 at night. But lately it's been midnight for some odd reason. So
yeah, mine's 2:30, 3 o'clock. And that's not even like my dog's waking me up to go potty. It's like,
it's straight download from source. Yep,
yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Straight download from source. And for myself, I go through periods of time where it's that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock time frame where you're getting those downloads. For me, it's a little bit hard on the body to wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, right? And then go back to bed for a couple hours and then wake up at 5 to go to the gym. But yes, some of those downloads can be pretty incredible.
Is that what time you go to the gym? 5 o'clock in the morning?
I wake up at 5 to get there at 6.
And then do you stay there for like an hour and a half? Like
I usually I'd leave at 8.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a good time. That's how I train from like 3 o'clock to 6:30. Depends on where I am in my training block. So I mean, I'm a powerlifting competitor, so I have a competition coming up in end of July into August. So like I'm in my training blocks, and right now there's the long blocks where I'm there for a really long time. And then there'll be like some blocks where I'm only there for a short period of time because I'm like gaining my strength. So it's only like 3 sets of 2. And I'm like, okay, boom. But it's like 400 pounds that I'm lifting or something, and like those are the shorter ones. And then like closer to competition time, it gets shorter. But these blocks are so long. Like I get calls and I'm like, I can't talk to you right now. I'm like on the phone, I'm like, I can't talk to you. I'll come back. Well, that's awesome that you do find time to put in that fitness into your day.
Spiritual, and to be the example to the world, you have to your spirit and be an example.
Well, speaking of that, how can everyone, and this is going to be a great transition to close here, this is what we're going to call a toot toot section, but where can everyone
sorry
we're having fun today recording, guys. Where can everyone go and find your information, website, whatever it is, and then they can have you help them?
Yeah. And so I have several websites, or I have a few, not several, but a few. One of them is the glowcenter.com, GLOW, theglowcenter.com. I talked about the book that just came out. You can find that on themindnasium.com, talking about the mind, M-I-N-D, the mindnasium, NASIUM.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. I'm just type in Titus Kleppinger and I pop up. I'm pretty easy to find.
Sweet. Any future projects besides what's coming out that you just said? Any new release dates or speaking engagements that are coming up?
No, actually, I'm diving into summer, working really good on working with my clients, and the business consulting side, and really just to get ramped up and to move into that pretty strong. So
sweet. Laarni, any toot toots coming from your end?
Yeah, my toot toots. Okay, so I have my Standing in Strength Summit. Number 2 is coming out. I'm planning it for the end June. So Titus, I might be reaching out to you to see if you'd like to be a part of that. It is a summit. The tagline is called Mission, Determination, and Action. So it really encompasses what the Strong and Mighty Company is about: community, positivity, and confidence, especially when it comes to women. And I think your message to balance out the masculine into your business and your life, I feel like that really fits into what some of the realms of strength that I love to talk about, because I feel strength to me is encompassing so many different things. And I feel like you fit right into one of the segments of the summit. But, I'll definitely get in touch with you after that. But I'm coming out with a workshop. It's called the Mind Strength Workshop. It's about 30 minutes. It's be my first workshop I'm going to do live. So that's coming out. I think I'm going to be doing that next week sometime. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can still hear me. My earphones are making wonky noises in my ears. But anyway, but other than that, I have my podcast that is coming out hopefully soon. I just need to record one quick thing and then send it to Chad so he can edit it for me, because I'm not very techie. But I give it to him, and then that is pretty much it for me. And if anybody really wanted to find me, they could just find me on Instagram at Laarni Mulvey. And a lot of anything coming up, I post on there, and I post it on my Facebook page also. So that's where you guys can find me. Oh, and by the way, in my cup today, I forgot to
Did you see? I saw.
I was gonna say, in my cup today, I'm drinking Intelligentsia coffee. Just letting you guys know. My husband's choice.
Yes. When you started talking about your business, you stepped right into flow. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but when you started talking about your business, I saw flow kick in, and I was like, oh my goodness, look at her passion. Look at that. You stepped into that. I recognized it right away. And so follow that dream, because you stepped in. Glow Growth and Development is coming from heart and working in flow. And I saw you step into flow right there. And I'm super happy for you that you've discovered that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So Chad, what do you got at toot?
What do I got? Toot toots coming up here. We have season 2.
Get ready for the list, Titus.
No, the list is actually going to get a little shorter this week, because we're gonna back up here. I took 4 days off, guys, and I realized there's a big list of stuff that I want to do. And what I'm trying to do is put the old time focus in a couple things instead of the old Costco list that you get for grocery shopping here. So we have season 2 C's Get Degrees coming out here starting this week. Obviously, we have Let's Talk Java here, guys. coming down Friday. If you're local to this area, we have Venture Palooza coming this Friday down at the Venture Project. Also, let me see here, to Venture Project, all that stuff. And I'm delaying everything on the t-shirts right now because that's where it's sucking a lot of my time up. So right now, C's Get Degrees podcast, where we're actually about 14 episodes deep now, which I got to back up and edit on top of Laarni stuff. You're welcome. And also, we're going to be laying out this book here pretty quick here once my class is done, through the one that Titus knows I was taking. So once all that stuff's done, then we're going to start working on the book here. I have zero knowledge of where it's going to be about. I have 3 topics on the addiction side of it that I have a ballpark. My gut feeling, the final project will be a lot different than what I expected at the beginning.
Awesome. I love that we all have like things going on that are serving, you know, like I think that's what's brought me to my path now. It's like connecting with people who serve and make a positive move to the collective. You know, it's not like we're not just kind of like focused on one thing. It's just, I love that. So
well, and the thing that I noticed after taking this class, or in this class, and I know Titus knows a little bit of, because we went in depth on a podcast about it, there's so much focus that has to be driven into that class that it almost pulls the focus away on top of the marathon, on top of the 5Ks I'm doing now, that you're wiped by the time you get to Friday and Saturday. Like you're literally going through a woods, knocking down all the bushes, trying to get to the root of your problems, and you're digging it and you're trying to rebuild it. And I did not know how much mental tenacity that takes just from something so small during the weekend. Okay, guys, this is about a 2-hour class a week. It is so impactful, but it's also and I'm going to use the term negatively here on this in a positive way. It's so draining because you're digging so far deep into your mental state that you're like, where did that stuff come from? And it's a phenomenal class. I will recommend everyone taking this class that is near here or can do it online. But it's in a good way. I get to rebuild myself, fix it, but it is very demanding. So if you're noticing me getting a little bit different lately, and that drive's not quite there yet, my drive is going into that class, making sure I'm taking care of selfishly taking care of myself right now.
Self-care is important.
Yeah, and taking out the trash is part of keeping your house clean, right? If you look at you as a whole, in an analogy of the house, you got to clean up the house. You got to take out the trash. You got to scrub down the toilet. You got to clean up the sink. It's mop the floor. It's not things that are fun and things that we like to do, but when you come out of it and your house smells good, life is shiny, right? How much better do you feel?
It's a weekly thing, and it's I can probably do 5 podcasts on how amazing this class is, but also how different. So the number one saying that they tell you when you get in there, obviously we go through prayer and yes, it's our church, but within the first 5 minutes, they will say there's going to be things in your life that are going to be way different when you start taking this class. And they're like, we're not telling you like you're cracking into this. They said there's going to be like spiritual stuff that's going to occur. That's going to be like, where did that come from? And seriously, every week, something, whether it's, health related stuff, whether it's like Laarni said, like my father trying to get back in my life, whatever it is, every week there's something different. And it is such amazing journey, but on the other end of it, it can definitely surprise you.
Well, I'm proud of you, man, for doing it, because it's the work that you're doing right now that's going to not only touch and bless your life, but it's going to touch and bless all the lives that you come in contact with in the future. So
thank you very much. And we have 6 more weeks left. So after that, we're going to jump back on. I'm back. Like I said, I'm back ordered on my podcast. So I'm going to go until summer with episodes. But once we get rolling here, then we're going to bring the hopefully book and speaking engagements and all the fun stuff that I pushed out of the way to at least take care of myself first.
Well, good job. Good job.
All right, guys, we're going to end it. We're actually stretching past a half hour, but thank you very much, Titus. Titus and I have a good relationship, so I don't think any of us three on here will definitely not disappear. So we're going to be having some fun with all three of us here in the future.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Titus. I appreciate you being here. Chad, thank you for hopping on today and being really awake today, which is great. And all these technical difficulties that we've had this morning, you know, but again, I'm Laarni Mulvey. I am one of the co-hosts for Let's Talk Java. So thank you everyone for watching our show, and stay safe and be loving out there and be kind. So have a great day, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.